Hello everybody. All right, so let's get to this. Let's talk about why I have chosen to hike the Appalachian Trail. I first just wanted to talk about who I am. So my name's Brittany. I am from Texas and I am a travel nurse. I have been a travel nurse for about 6 years, and whenever I decided to do travel nursing, I got this wild idea that I would buy a camper. I'd never pulled a trailer in my life, so that was very interesting, but I taught myself, I learned, and I figured it out, and I pulled that thing all over the United States. But the great thing about living in my travel trailer, it made me realize that we don't need as much as we think we do in life. It simplified my life a lot. I downsized. I had a shower, a bed, a fridge, and I only had what I needed with me. And it was just an incredible lifestyle. It let me, go all over, and the opportunities that have presented themselves through that career have just been exponential. And also that's why I'm able to do this. Because travel nursing, for those of you that don't know, you take contracts, so 13-week contracts, and then in between contracts, I can take off as much time as I want, as long as I've saved up to afford that lifestyle. And so I have done that. I found insurance through a friend, so that way I'll still have health insurance during the trail, or along the trail. So yeah, so next I'm going to talk about why I'm doing the Appalachian Trail. All right, so the why. I just talked about being a nurse. That'll be normal. I'll always be tripping. I work critical care, and so we all know what's been happening the last few years. And in 2020, that was probably the hardest year of my life, maybe minus like my father's death whenever I was 19, but other than that, yeah, most difficult thing I've ever gone through. As a critical care nurse, I see a lot of death anyways, but I saw more in that span of 9 months than I had in my whole entire career. And so in October, I just wasn't in a good place mentally. I needed to get away, so I packed up my truck and just sat out on the road and was hiking and camping and doing what I needed to do to reset my soul. And during that trip, I went to Grayson Highlands, and at Grayson Highlands, there were 2 Sobo hikers. They were just trekking along. I could tell they were in a hurry, and I just kind of asked, like, what are you doing? And they said they were Sobo hikers, and they were trying to hurry and get to Springer because they were ready to be done. And I was like, okay, so I didn't really make them stop and talk to me. Crossing some water right now. Any more than that. But then I ran into some section hikers who, they're a little bit more relaxed, had a little bit more time to talk, and they just told me a little bit of information, told me what the Appalachian Trail was, how long they had been out there. And there's another guy was out there, and he was like, yeah, I'm just out here section hiking until I run out of food, and then I'll be done. That just kind of got the ball rolling that night. When I was at camp, I started looking up what the Appalachian Trail was, and it intrigued me. And that's kind of where the fire started building, right? Then after Grayson Highlands, I can't even remember what town I went into, but I was eating lunch at this place, and 2 other women were sitting beside me, and like I do, I just talk to strangers all the time. We got to talking, and I told him, yeah, I think I want to do the Appalachian Trail. Like, I just found out about it, and gosh, man, how cool would that be? And one of the women that I was talking to, she had just completed it a few years ago with her boyfriend. So we talked, and she shared lots of different things. And she said that her favorite part of that was Max Patch. And So after I got done eating lunch and I was heading to the Smokies, and I took a detour and went to Max Patch. And just being up there, I was like, yeah, like the Appalachian Trail has to be a part of my journey. And so I got back after that road trip and started researching and a little bit more. All really thinking that I would probably forget about it. Like I would research it for a little while and then the idea would just kind of fade out and I wouldn't go through with it. But that is not the case. The more I researched, the more I realized that this was 100% going to be part of my journey. And then I started doing all the planning and getting the gear, and that in itself, the planning phase, I love to do planning. I plan road trips and trips internationally when I go, and like sometimes that is like my favorite part of a trip. So I had a lot of fun looking up gear and watching videos, and thank you to like Homemade Wanderlust, Dixie, and Steve Adams, The Mighty Blue. Those were two resources that I utilized. I think I binge watched all of their material and or listened to all of the Mighty Blue podcast. And so yeah, now we are only about, let's see, probably I leave Wednesday and going on a road trip with my mom and my stepdad, and we're gonna go to the Smokies and stuff like that, and then I will be starting the trail very soon. And I like, I don't think I could get here fast enough. Like the end of my contract up in St. Louis was flying by, like time was going by so fast, but this in between time since I've been home, it's just like time is standing still, because like I know what's next, like walking under that arch, getting my tag, standing on Springer Mountain. I know all of that is coming and it cannot come fast enough, let me tell you. So I created a YouTube, because it's easier for me to put out long videos. So that is why this YouTube's here. It is to share with my friends and family what I'm doing, but then also just, I know not everybody has the ability to do things like this. They can't take off of their career for 6 months, or maybe physical limitations or health limitations, or they just don't have the desire to walk in the woods for 6 months, let's be honest. So I hope that I can put out some content, share this journey, continue to share how beautiful our country is. Gosh, I have been exploring all over for the last 6 years, and I know I've like barely scratched the surface of what it has to offer. And it's kind of my passion to just like, I love taking photos. Speaking on camera is kind of new for me, so I have to get used to that one. But I love sharing nature. Nature resets my soul, especially after 2020, like being in nature like I was after that. And for that month, it just like allowed me to kind of reset some. There's obviously still some trauma there that will need and will take time to heal, but that's what I needed. And I think that this journey is just going to be once in a lifetime. Follow me on my YouTube at BRoseGoes. That would be the best way to follow content. Of course, on my Instagram at BRoseGoes, I'll have some photos and stuff, but the longer videos are going to be on my YouTube. I'll try to share them to Facebook, but I keep Facebook kind of more for like friends and family only. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all on the trail soon. I don't know if you can see them, but there's all kinds of birds just flying around right now through here. Huh. Gosh, there's so many of them.